everybody. I'm not going to be like Angie, I'm going to sit. I was like, oh, she's good. I can sit. Although I've been driving for the last 4 hours. My name is Yawne Robinson. I grew up here in Schenectady for a short while, right? We did middle school and high school together. And when I left this city, I said, I'm not coming back. Right? That's what most of us have done, that have all went to school together. We said, we're not coming back. We want to do something different. I grew up, actually started here in downtown, and then we moved to Hamilton Hill. So that's kind of where I got all my friends from. Once we moved to the Hill, I didn't know what the Hill was until I had to walk from Mount Pleasant to Delmont. But after that, I want to say I got into the education system quite early. And it started with Craig Street Boys and Girls Club. That's why I said, let me take it back to when I was here in this town. Craig Street Boys and Girls Club was the hub. If you lived in Hamilton Hill, that was the go-to place. And that was my go-to place. That was the safe space. You can hang out there. Your parents knew you were safe. And there was a bunch of clubs and activities. Well, one day, the activities were held up because someone decided not to come to work. So here I am with two little brothers who were not of age to get inside the Boys and Girls Club, and they said, you can't bring them here. I'm like, please, I don't want to go home with them. Well, if you're going to stay here, you got to volunteer. And then you're going to take over this class. That was the actual beginning for me of working with kids. So who I am now today is an educational analyst who has a literacy program in Howard Beach as well as in Astoria. Yeah, it starts here. If you ask me, I thought I was going to study government, go work at the White House, not under our current administration, but I thought I was going there. And I thought I was going to go work for the UN. So I went all the way around, got back to New York City, got into the UN program, and then they threw this project on me and said, you need to create something that can go global. And this was while I was working on my master's. And so birth came to my organization, Reading for Smiles. If you look at us, you say, oh, statistic-wise, especially in Schenectady, because let me get a start. I worked for Planned Parenthood here as a teen counselor. So a group of girlfriends from at that time, we were counseling people in the Hamilton here area and some other neighborhoods they took us to out even towards Albany and Troy. We're talking about sex education. Here was this word, education, always taunting me, but never knew I was going to actually be back in it the way I was. And we would have these workshops and stuff here, and you learn a lot of people's business that you don't want to share. But I was realizing that there was a skill in giving workshops. It was a skill in talking to people. It was a skill in building people. And even at the Boys and Girls Club, then I'm starting to do these small little art classes and little things with the children. Long story short, flash forward, my time at the UN says build this program and this project. I do it. I'm working already in the charter school world, help open charter schools up throughout New York, and realize that I wasn't appreciated. Sometimes you work somewhere and you're like, they don't appreciate you. And I'm here to say and stand for teachers. I stand for teachers all over, across the globe when I say we are underappreciated and no one understands the time and the energy it takes working and mentoring young children all the time. And I apologize to any teacher that I probably got on their nerves for being the most talkative in the class, but I get it now.
Definitely.
And I couldn't stand where I was working. I mean, it was really stressful. The administration team had another agenda that I didn't really go with. So I said, well, what else can I do? And then I remembered I was working on a project for the UN, Make It a Live One. So in my struggles of building that and being told, oh, you're gonna have to, it's so funny, you meet a lot of people across your way and a lot of people will tell you their stories and they'll paint their stories on your life as if that's the way you're supposed to walk it, right? And that's not always true. I was told that, to get your nonprofit status, it was going to take me a year to 2 years. That wasn't true. I got it in 4 months. I called the state state education department just trying to figure out some stuff, and they kept rerouting me to all these different people that know nothing. And I kept getting all these no's until finally some things started to turn into yes. And for me, because I was already in the school system, I basically started bringing in the program to my actual school. With that, I was determined to make a change in education. I started working with youth in my neighborhood where I originally grew up, which was in Queensbridge. We started there. Then we went to the school that I was actually working for, and I was able to work during the day and then run my program in the afternoon. Talk about hustle, hustle. Everybody wants to know how I did that. I can't disclose that, but what I will say is that when you're good at what you do and you treat others well, it works back out for you. Karma has a great way of showing up. So how you treat people is really, really important. And what you do for people without looking for a price tag back comes back for you. I have now can say I have served over 300 plus students through my program alone. And it's been a journey. It's been a journey. We just expanded to our second location. I bother Will all the time. Schenectady is next on my horizon. The things that I'm able to cover with the students are not rare, but necessary. So I love that you talked about financial literacy, because that's something that we do. And when I looked at how do I want my program to look, I said, what do the children who look like me need for tomorrow? I've always been the one African-American student in many groups, especially growing up here. I was in a lot of great academic programs in this town. So when people do say things negative about Schenectady, I do kind of step a little bit on people's toes, because I knew about the great programs that did exist here coming out of that high school. It's just whether or not you knew about them or had access to them. You gotta make a way. You gotta go find that information out. We Google everything, but we don't Google what's right in the neighborhood for us. So with that, in our lessons, that's when I started developing the program. I said, what is it that children need to know? Forget race now, forget income levels. Financial literacy is one. Understanding the world at large is another, because we get so trapped into our communities that we forget that there's a larger world out there. So now my students in the summer program, they learn about one country per week. They learn the language, they learn the food, they learn the culture. I partner with restaurants to bring them that food, just in case that they never leave their neighborhood. The schoolhouse has been able to open that door for them. I teach them about business on a large scale, because while the program mantra is always me talking to them about going to Harvard, and let me be really clear, I only say Harvard because it's one of the best colleges of our land. But I also say Harvard so that my staff also know what we need to always aim high for, regardless of the situation. I've been able to take the program and hire students from out of the community to give them jobs over the summer when they weren't able to get paid through summer youth programs. I've now been able to see students that have been underneath me for the last 9 years, because we just celebrated our 9-year anniversary, come back and work for me, and then volunteer as well to give back to the youth that are in the program as well. We've created a family, we've created an ecosystem. I love the fact that now I'm challenging them from kindergarten to first grade to have conversations about money. Something that people don't want to have, right? Because now we start talking about it, that means we got to be accountable for it. Accountability is something that people run from all the time. I see it every day. And when you can have a 5-year-old explain to you what I want to do with this money, again, does your money have a plan? It changes the dynamic, it changes the conversation. My whole purpose, I felt like, in this life is to change generational curses on people's families around poverty mindsets. You can live anywhere, I don't care. You can live in a shoebox. If your mindset is not right, then we're stuck. You're only as stuck as far as your mindset goes. So for them, from grades 2 and up, they have to actually create a business plan. And I host a business expo for the children every summer. And I bring in other business leaders because they're tired of hearing me talk to them all the time, right? And to make it fair, because I don't want anyone to say I'm choosing favorite children. I love them all. To judge their ideas. Most of my students do grow up with me, and for me, it was more important to see that they had 5 or 6 business ideas before they even got to middle school. Why? Because then now they get the opportunity to say, Mom, if I don't go to college, there was this great idea I worked on in summer camp that you forced me to go to and go read and learn that I can now go rely on. They do science. This year we studied the eye. My own eye doctor was like, you're teaching kindergarten and first grade about the eye. I said, why not? You learned it. You got a job. You made a whole career out of it. I'm really a true passionate educator. If you guys walk away tonight, that's all I want to say is that it's not just the financial literacy piece, it's a literacy overall. We are doing a disservice to everyone when we don't have access and opportunities to engage in. And we just got to put those things together. There's a lot of great resources in this town, across America, that we just need to pull for. And I say that because I know that you don't need to have much to do it. Last year I was selected to a great opportunity that allowed me to go live in Africa for a month. And while my program was closed, I said, let me take this opportunity, because you never know where it can lead you. So I always tell everybody, meet somebody new. Don't be afraid to talk. Talking and sharing your stories is how you get to learn who knows what and who knows who. And Uganda changed my life in the retrospect of how I view things here, right? Here, when it comes to education, we say we don't have the resources. Excuse me. It's not about the resources, it's about the heart and the passion. Yes. I saw teachers teach a class of 76 students with one book. And then I was told to teach a class of 50-something students with no books. And I said, you know what? It's about the heart, because I didn't give up. I didn't listen to everyone else who said, oh, you're crazy. You're working with kids, you're crazy. Educators don't make any money. A part is true to an extent, just to an extent. And I say that because I was able to humbly leave the school system last year and be completely 100% on my own this year. There's money in education, you just gotta go get it. People are learning every day. You're paying thousands of dollars to go to university, and there's so many other ways to learn. Sharpen your skill set the best way you can. That's my message to everybody. I don't care where you learn. I don't even care how you learn. Just go learn. Never stop learning. Never stop having drive or forgetting your why. So now my whole new why is I really want to see the youth of tomorrow have a better future tomorrow. And that starts with everything that I put in forward today. And I think that's where I'll end up.